So if you're actually looking at improving your life, it doesn't really matter what you do every once in a while. What matters is what you do each and every day. So if you're hitting that snooze button like 13 times before getting out of bed and then feeling like shit, why don't you try and move your phone a couple meters away from bed so that you need to get out of bed, you're gonna feel so much better. It's a small habit with a massive upside. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you about 30 small habits that have improved my life. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing that I do is I normally wake up pretty early. And the reason I do this is because I manage to get so much more done. And I normally set my alarm the night before to about 4:30 in the morning. So I normally wake at 4:30 in the morning during the weeks. When I wake up again with my alarm, I normally keep my phone about 2 meters away from the bed. So I actually need to get out of bed to turn off my alarm. That way it prevents me from snoozing my phone and feeling like shit throughout the course of the day. During the night, I get pretty hot. So when I wake up, I'm pretty dehydrated, so I normally will drink about half a litre of water and then brush my teeth afterwards. I love going to my sauna every morning, so I walk down into the garage where I keep my sauna at about 70 degrees Celsius, and I'll meditate in the sauna. I'll normally meditate in the sauna for about 20 minutes. And when I do that, I'll normally think about my ambitions, I'll normally think about my goals, and I'll normally think about something that I'm grateful for. And it really gives me a good start on the day. There's a great little health benefit about jumping the sauna, to be honest, as well. So there was a study that said that men and females that use a sauna about 4 times a week, on average, will reduce the probability of cardiovascular disease by about 50%. So it's got a great upside as well. Once I've finished with the sauna, I love doing something challenging every morning. So what I do is I've got an ice bath, and if you don't have an ice bath, a cold shower works well, but I'll jump into that ice bath, and it teaches me to deal with something stressful every morning, so that doesn't matter what life throws at me, it teaches me to deal with the challenges. So after freezing my ass off for about 3 minutes in the ice bath, what I tend to do is read. I'll normally read for about 1 to 2 hours every morning, and if I do that on average, I'll probably read, let's say, 10 hours a week. And reading 10 hours a week, I'm gonna finish at least about 52 books in a year. And do you know what? The average CEO of a Fortune 500 company reads about 50 to 60 books in a year. So it's actually pretty cool. By this time, it's early morning, I'm actually feeling alive. So what I do is I actually do a bit of a workout. So I head back to the garage where I've got my gym set up, and I'll normally do some strength training. So I'll normally do weights about 4 times during the week. And I keep it pretty consistent, pretty simple, my workouts. Anywhere from half an hour to an hour. Once a week, I'll go for a run, about a 5K run, depends how I feel. And then also I'll stretch once a week. So exercising is so important, and I tend to do that. Look, I live by the beach, so I've got the benefit of jumping the ocean. So I'll tend to jump in the ocean in the morning. It's a great habit, and it now allows me to connect with nature. I can take in some beautiful fresh air, and I pretty much do it every day. Recently, we've had some storms, so I haven't done it, but I think I missed 2 days out of like a very long time because there was some massive storms and the waves were huge. It was pretty dangerous, so I didn't do that. Once I do that, I go through my beauty routine. So I'll have my shower, I'll moisturize, put my eye cream on, put my roller on, and make sure I'm feeling fresh for the day. It's quite interesting. I tend to go to my cupboard and put on the same thing Monday through Friday. I tend to just wear a black t-shirt or a black hoodie. I like to keep it simple. Black's pretty easy. And you tend to notice that a lot of the successful people actually keep a pretty simple wardrobe. So that's what I do. On the weekends, I might wear some color, and anytime I wear color, I'll normally get a compliment and going, oh, you look different today. So it's quite interesting. Yeah, what I normally do then is I'll head down to the kitchen and I'll nourish my body. So how do I do that? I'll normally take supplements in the morning. So I'll have a protein shake every morning. I'll also take a multivitamin. I'll also have some creatine and some fish oil tablets. And I think, for me, prevention's better than cure. So our body's the only place that we live. It's our temple, so let's look after it. So I tend to really focus on nourishing my body with the right supplements. It's really, really important. If I'm hungry, which normally I am, because this could be about mid-morning to early lunchtime, what I'll tend to do is make some breakfast. I normally have something pretty nutritious just to give me the fuel for the day. I'm very mindful of eating heavy mid-morning to late morning because I want to make sure that I don't get sleepy and I can perform throughout the day. So I really focus on, having the right forms of nourishment. So after fueling my body, I'll normally head to the office where I focus on my priorities. So I read a great book by David Allen. It's called Getting Things Done. He's got a great methodology, and essentially I keep my to-do list. So I literally work off a to-do list. When I have ideas, I capture my ideas. It's pretty much part of the David Allen method. So I capture my ideas in Google Tasks, and then I have a next actions list where what I'm gonna work on next. So pretty much every day, I focus on my priorities, what's gonna move the needle the most. I try not to work on low value tasks. I try and really focus on things that are really gonna enable me to progress my life further. So really following David Allen's methodologies really helped me to organize my work day and make sure that I get things done. I guess at work it can be pretty busy, so I tend to take a break once every hour, I'll take like a 5 or a 10-minute walk, and that gives me an opportunity to reset. Then I can focus again for another hour. So I'll normally do that most of the time when I'm at the office. Sometimes I'll have an alarm set for every hour, just depends how I'm feeling, but that really, really helps me stay focused when I'm at work. When I'm at the office, I'll tend to put my phone on Do Not Disturb and turn off my notifications on social media. So to be honest, I don't really have any social media on my phone at all. I normally have it on the computer. I try to stay off my phone on social media just because I guess for me, I don't want to be spending half my life on social media. I'm really focusing on building a future. And in order to do that, I need to minimize the distractions, and social media can be a pretty significant distraction. So I turn off my notifications and make sure that I'm fully focused at work. I think for me, one of the most important things is family. So I tend to give my dad a call every day for about 10 minutes. For me, that's really important. I practice what I preach. I'd love when my children grow up for them to give me a call for 5 or 10 minutes every day just to say good day. And I think I live by my actions. So I call my dad every day, have a chat with him, see how he's going, and just check in on him. You know, it's not a hard thing to do, but I do it on my drive home, and it really connects with my family. So it's a beautiful thing, and I love my family to do it. And when I get home, I think for me, it's really important to, reconnect with home. So I've just been at work, I've been at the office, and I've been, let's say, hustling and grinding. When I come home, it's the sanctuary, it's the place where the family is. So what I try and do is I focus on transitioning my energy from work to home. So what I tend to do is normally 5 to 10 deep breaths, and I really go, okay, I'm at home now. It's time to be a father. It's time to be a husband. It's time to be, the man of the house. Whatever you call it, I tend to refocus my energy. So then when I get home, again, I like to connect with my family. So we normally have a big family hug. And at the same time, it's not just a quick hug and we go. We might have a hug for 10 seconds or a few deep breaths. And what that does is it really releases the tension and the stress of the day from the office, and then it connects with me and my family. From there, we normally have an amazing dinner. So normally, most of the time, not all of the time, we have a nutritious dinner. Every now and then I'll come home to some naughty cheeseburgers that are homemade, so they're still somewhat good. But we normally eat pretty nutritious. 6 nights of the week or 6 days of the week. Once a week we'll have a cheat meal. But I think we enjoy our family dinner together. And when we're having our family dinner, we'll talk about our days. What went well today, what didn't go well today. And we'll just have a great conversation. It's a great way to unwind for the day. Once I've done that, what I love to do is I love to clear the air. So what I do is I'll journal. I'll pull out my laptop and I'll literally just type out my thoughts. I'll write down what I'm grateful for the day, what worked well during the day, what didn't work well during the day, maybe something that I've learned, and I could just vent. Honestly, I could just vent and go, babble anything. So I could vent as well. So once I've done that, normally we'll make our way upstairs to the bedroom. About 30 minutes before bed, I'll tend to set my alarm for the next morning to make sure that my alarm's all set. I'll chuck my phone on flight mode. I'll chuck my phone on Do Not Disturb. And essentially, I'll put my phone a couple meters away from the bed to make sure in the morning when I get up, I don't feel like shit. And I think for me, sleep consistency is super important. If you want to have a good night's rest, make sure you're going to bed at a consistent time. So I tend to try and go to bed roughly the same time most nights. Maybe once on the weekend I might stay up late, but I try and be consistent most of the time. After that, I'll have a nice warm shower, and something that I like to do is I like to have a cold rinse as it really refreshes me for bed. I normally aim for about 8 hours of sleep. I used to try and be a hero and sleep less, but then I read a book by Matthew Walker and I realized the importance of sleep. So yeah, now I aim for about 8 hours in bed to make sure that I have a good sleep opportunity to make sure that my best fully recovers. There's a couple of other little habits that I want to share with you. So for me, I love money. So I set aside money every week to invest, and I'm doing that religiously every week. So, I get my income, I earn my income, I allocate a certain percentage to investing each and every week to make sure that I never fall short, because the thing is, over a lifetime, 30 years of compound interest, it's gonna be interesting what you're gonna see. Another nice little habit that helps the rich stay rich is create a shopping list. When you go to the shops, buy what you need, not what you want. If you buy what you need, it allows you to have money so that you can invest. So don't just go and blow money on everything. So whenever we leave the house to go shopping, we tend to have a list, and we'll tend to buy the things on the list. Yeah, every now and then we might buy something not on the list, but just recognize that could be going to your investments. And the other thing that I want to say is clean your pantry. Like, if you want to have a healthy life, get rid of the shit out of your pantry, get rid of the chocolate, get rid of the lollies, get rid of the junk food. For me, sometimes we'll have stuff in the cupboard and I'll go through the cupboard and eat it all, but a lot of the times my wife will actually hide all the chocolate so I can't find it. So then when I'm, I want to eat this, I want to eat this, I want to eat this, I've got cravings, I try and look for it and I can't find it, and then I move on. So guys, I hope you got some value out of these habits. Everyone's got their own habits. I'd love for you to share your habits down below, and if the order doesn't work for you, you can change up the order, but this is the order that I focus on my habits. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.